And welcome to the Aspire Higher podcast. Your host, Dave Glaser. We provide personal trainers with simple solutions to build a business, master online training, and eventually open their own studio. Our goal is to share business systems, marketing tools, customer service strategies to help you build a business quickly so that it can be sustained long term.
Welcome back to the Aspire Higher podcast. I am so pleased to welcome my next guest, Stephen Andrews. What is happening, brother?
How are you doing, sir?
I'm fantastic. First of all, I want to introduce you to the community. You and I met through a mutual friend, a current client of ours.
We did.
And he believed that we would be connecting best if you talked about marketing. Yep. And I talked about personal training. And so we collaborated, and I got the opportunity to be on your podcast.
Yes, you did.
What's the title of that?
The Rock and Iron Experience.
Rock and Iron Experience. I love it. How many episodes in are you?
I think we're starting 7 or 8 soon.
7 or 8? All right. Yeah. That's phenomenal.
So it's not really regularly scheduled, which is my problem. I've got to get more consistent with my own stuff.
Well, it sounds like you're pretty busy serving other people.
Yeah, I'm generally pretty busy.
So tell me a little bit about your career path on how you got into media for fitness entrepreneurs and other local businesses that really could benefit from video and audio and photography.
So I got my start in 2008, right as the proverbial shit was hitting the fan. And I started an automotive shop, which was an e-commerce shop. We got started doing some things that nobody had ever done before. I started moving into the events side of things and started using influencer marketing, photo and video, just as digital cameras were starting to catch up and be able to actually do things. And I went from nothing to having over 10,000 people start showing up to shows within 24 months of starting my business. Made more money than I knew what to do with at the time.
Sorry to hear.
Yeah, that was awful. It was terrible. But yeah, being a 22-year-old kid with $100,000 invested into a vehicle, 23-year-old kid was a lot. It was tons of fun, but I was definitely not smart enough to handle that level of success that quickly, that early. And then a few years later, previously, leading up to that, I had decided to get in shape myself for the first time in my life. I lost 70 pounds in 3 months. I know your brain is spinning because that doesn't seem possible, and it's not possible to do that healthily, so I don't recommend anybody do what I did for that. And then I broke my back and decided to get back into shape, got back into shape a few years ago, and now I run marathons, climb giant walls, and do obstacle courses and all that sort of fun things.
So the Spartan and Tough Mudder are on your list this year?
Yeah. Spartan, Tough Mudder, American Ninja Warrior. I run marathons all over the country. I'm looking to do my first Ironman. I keep finding myself to be injured or just not available on the weekends of the Ironmans that I want to do.
Okay. So did you miss the Boulder Ironman this weekend?
I did. My training team did not. My coach came in 7th in his age group, 72nd overall, and he's 37 years old.
Dang.
So Mark Wooten, he's a beast.
Okay.
Absolute beast.
Okay.
So if I want to get yelled at, I just call him. He yells at me.
Yells at you for being constantly injured?
He yells at me for being constantly injured. And like the fondest memories I have of Dallas, we do these high intensity interval trainings. So it's an hour and a half of consistent movement with weights, without weights, like just going through sequences. So we'll do 3 exercises at a time. They each build on each other, and we do them twice for a minute each.
Oh.
And it's brutal.
That sounds brutal. And for an endurance athlete too.
Yes. Yeah. All I hear when I'm doing lunges is "Get that knee on the ground, Steven!" So he haunts me.
Does he coach you long distance, or does he pretty much just check in with you as a mentor and as a long distance coach?
It's like one of those weird things. So he runs the Lifetime Fitness Run Club out of Garland, which is the largest in the country, and it's 100% because of that man. He's so just enthusiastic and energetic and infectious. So really it's more of me like being like, notice me, like, please look at me, like, I'm doing good. Because there was my fastest mile I ever ran up until a few months ago. It was trying to pace him. So it's been like a constant kind of rivalry, shit talk back and forth sort of thing.
Sure. Did you start with mile and then go to 2 mile and then 5K and then 10K?
Oh, when I started running? So that's actually a fun story. I was 21 years old. I was the kid who grew up building computers, playing video games, getting paid to give people answers to tests, all that sort of fun thing. But in my head, I'm very imaginative, so I've like watched all these hero things, and so in my head I was this like giant hero who could take down anything. My dad was a cop, my family's military, so then it's extra instilled in me. And I was 21 and I was like, you know what? I'm going to university. I'm gonna get in shape for the first time ever. And I started by walking out my front door I think I was wearing jeans in Texas in June. Was it June? Might have been May.
It was hot,
It
nonetheless.
was hot. It was at night, and I couldn't make it 0.2 of a mile down my block without feeling like I was gonna die. And I ran around the block. That was a 1/4 mile. The next day I ran a mile. The next day I ran 4 miles. The next day I ran 5, and I just did not stop until I lost 70 pounds and went to college.
So this is an extreme version of the compound effect by David Carter.
Yes.
Where we just need to make it to the end of the block, and then we need to make it around the block, and then we need to make it around the block twice. Not necessarily from around the block to a mile.
I just initiated the thought process of I've been the fat kid, I've been the kid who got picked on. This has been my life. My family life was not something that was great, and this, that, and the other. And I decided I am going to change my life, or I'm going to die.
Okay.
One or the other. You're not gonna outwork me. And then thus began the last 10 years of my life.
So it sounds like we have two ends of the extremities spectrum here.
Yes.
Either couch potato, where I'm sure that a lot of our audience's clients can relate to.
We've all been there. Well, not all, but a lot of us have been there.
I think that it's on varying degrees of bottom, of rock bottom. I don't know if you'd call it rock bottom for yourself.
I think that particular moment was realizing that what happened to me in the past does not define who I am. It's my decisions that I make now. Cool. XYZ happened. So what? What now? You can't control what has already happened. That's done and gone with. What are you gonna do now?
I like that perspective, and that's almost like I'm hearing my own words in your mouth, because as we coach people to reach their goals, we have to paint the picture for them on success versus failure, or one small step forward at a time. What I'm picturing from that fitness extremity, you're implementing that into your business also. So that first business that you started was automotive, trade shows, virtual shopping experience for online shopping experience for your customers, and then you couldn't handle the success, and now we're starting a new adventure. Tell me about what you're doing now.
So Spotted Dog Media is what I'm doing now. As I mentioned, I built the e-commerce, and I built the events totally off the back of social media as it was becoming a thing. When it was way underpriced. You could spend $10 and reach 100,000 people. It's still underpriced, but it was way underpriced then. And so I built it by developing media and developing partners and all that sort of fun stuff. And the first time I picked up a video camera was the old camcorder that looks today like it would be something that'd be used on TV because it was so big, because it recorded straight to VHS. And I would make little videos and with that. And today I focus on building branding for individuals and businesses. I help them tell their story. And I think that, especially in our society, there is no more greater story to tell than when it comes to actually physically overcoming something. I think there's a primal connection between physically doing something and what your mind reads as progress, what you feel as progress, and what you're able to handle then mentally, because neuroscience comes into play with it. I run 7 miles a day, and I get massive dopamine hits every time I do it, which then allows me to handle the stresses of the day.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's what I focus on. I help people tell their stories. And I help people communicate with their target audience in the most genuine way. I've had to turn down and fire clients because they just wanted to make sales stuff constantly.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're not going to succeed like that. Go find somebody else to do it, because that's not what I do.
Okay, so you take the message of your clients and you translate that to both photography, videography, and some marketing expertise.
Yes.
So what can somebody expect when they get started with you, and then what's the process after that?
So when we get started, it's all very front-loaded. Generally, my biggest thing that I have selling right now is podcasts. And I always push for my clients to do our most expensive package, not because it's our most expensive, but because it's the most inclusive. You get podcasts, you get video of it, you get YouTube management, you get those videos mined. So like, if you're on fire for like 30 seconds just spitting your truth, rip that, put it on Facebook. Maybe it goes viral, but it's increasing your chances to go viral as often as possible, and that's kind of the overall focus is getting that going. So we start by, we always want to have something in production, so we start early and then start releasing later, generally a couple weeks, so that way we've always got a couple of things coming. We build intros, we do marketing targeting, so we'll look at your social channels. We'll look at where you're hitting right now, where do you want to be hitting. Up until Cambridge Analytica, we could actually target people on Facebook based on who they worked for.
Okay.
So if I want to find people who work in the insurance company, in the insurance field, because I know that the stress is really high, they eat a lot of fast food, they work long hours, they need my help, I can actually target them that way.
Okay.
Now I go back through LinkedIn to do that, because you
All right.
still do that.
Still do that on LinkedIn. I'm a huge fan of LinkedIn. Got a pretty good community on LinkedIn. But if I'm hearing you correctly, you take your client's purpose and their message, and you combine it with a pretty easy to follow system, an all-inclusive system, to deliver that message to their ideal client.
Correct.
And that's as bare minimum description.
That's the succinct way to say it, rather than getting lost in your own head like I did.
That's right. We all as business owners have a lot going on at one time. So you want to share the message of overcoming a physical challenge, and that's what drew you to the fitness industry?
It's a mental challenge.
Mental challenge.
It's a mental challenge. People, I mean, you can think whatever way you think about yourself, but by utilizing your body and moving it the way it's supposed to be moved, the science behind what happens in your brain changes everything about you.
Mm-hmm.
If I miss my morning run, I'm not the chilled, laid-back person that you know. I'm grumpy, I don't want to be fucked with, and I want everybody to stay away from me. I apologize if I'm cussing too much.
It happens. We're all professionals here. I can completely relate. You know, last week I had a minor surgery, and I had to recover from that for a few days. I wasn't getting in my normal routine. I wasn't eating normally, and I wasn't sleeping normally. So I became very tired and irritable. Mm-hmm. And it sounds like you can relate.
Mm-hmm. Very much so.
Yeah. And when you're serving your ideal client or serving members in the fitness industry, you can probably relate to what they're going through as business owners.
Yes. Because
you're into fitness, and because you're marketing for your own business and you're marketing for other people's businesses, I think that's one of the biggest things that our community can relate to.
Yeah, I do have the unique set of being able to relate to the personal trainer, because you are building your own business. You have a book of business. And then on the flip side of that, I can relate to your clients. And I might be able to relate to your clients better than you can, because you could be the guy or the gal who was always in shape and never had to deal with that. Now you have your own set of insecurities, because being in shape doesn't mean that you get it and you're just great and everything's all dandy and you believe that everybody thinks you're the hottest thing on the planet. That comes with its own set of insecurities. But I can understand clients in this realm very well.
Because you've been there before yourself.
Yes.
Right. I love that you say that, because my journey as a personal trainer has been that. Like, I've never really been out of shape.
Mm-hmm.
There was probably a time when I was working 40 hours a week in a restaurant, going to school 12 credit hours a semester, and trying to raise my daughter, and juggling a relationship, where I was probably at my heaviest, 185, 12% body fat, and I wasn't feeling good. Drinking way too much coffee, eating, not meal prepping. I hadn't learned about meal prep yet. So I wasn't always the model of behavior that a personal trainer should be. And about 14 months into my business, I realized that I was malnourished. And I couldn't give advice to my clients coming from that standpoint.
Yeah.
They're like,
if you're going to preach something, you want to be following it.
That's exactly right. And I tell that short story because what you said resonated with me on the pain points of both your business owner client and their clients as a personal trainer. Tell me a little bit about pain points and how to discover them for your ideal client.
So for the ideal client, I think discovering pain points is really simple. I run through questions like, okay, cool, we're going to put you on camera, and I watch. What happens? Do you look away from me? Does your voice go down? Do you become more meek? If you're afraid of being on camera, maybe we can find a way around that. Maybe writing is better for you. Maybe just audio is better for you. Maybe it's not as scary as you think it is, and just getting in front of it will be okay. So discovering that from like the production side of it, super simple. I run through questions and I force the situation. I like to think that yes, I'm your friend. As when I'm working with somebody, I am your friend, but I'm your best friend, which means your best friend's going to put you through some stuff that you don't want to necessarily go through, but you'll come out better for it on the other side. So that's one aspect. As far as working with them to discover who they're actually marketing with and who they need to be going after, I look at who are you already servicing? Who are you talking with? Who's coming in to talk to you? What's your natural draw? And generally, my advice is to triple down on that, because you're already getting it. You're already good at it. You've already found the way to communicate with it. But if you're on the struggle bus or it's not working out for whatever reason, like you want a different clientele for name a reason. Then we look at, okay, well, who do you want to be talking to? Okay, well, how do they listen? So I always reverse engineer from the end goal. And I think that is the best way to go about it. Is not, well, I'm going to do this and these people will come to me because of it. It's like, no. They already have habits. They already do things. They already listen certain places. They already go certain places. Where are they looking? Let's go be where they are looking rather than trying to force them to come to us.
Amen to that. So we're talking about low-hanging fruit with the people that are already in our community. In particular, our community, you interviewed them, you did a film for us, and it was phenomenal, and we put it everywhere as much as we possibly can. You interviewed our community, you found out what they're passionate about, what makes them tick, what brings them in the door, and we go after that low-hanging fruit threefold, 3 times over. And we can exponentially grow our business that way.
Yes. And then from that point, you're going to have referrals come in, and I mean, I'm sure you and everybody listening knows that referrals are just incredibly powerful, but you have to get the business to get the referrals in the first place. So who are you already naturally talking to, and who is already naturally coming in and wanting to pay for your services? If you are not at that point yet, and you're just getting started and you're trying to figure it out, then we can start from there too. And it's just about, I need to figure out who you are. I need to figure out what your target is, and then I need to have a conversation with you. As I mentioned, this is just one of my intangibles that I believe I have. My family is cops and military and all that sort of fun stuff. If you're lying to me or you're uncomfortable in what you're saying, I got you. you ain't hiding from me.
Human lie detector test.
A little bit. Hiding anything from my father was the hardest thing ever growing up.
Did you get in trouble a lot?
Oh, a lot. I would because he would work nights. My dad was a single father. He'd leave. I'd be up to something, and I'd be out and about when I wasn't supposed to be, and he would just pull up on me. He would know where I was. This was before cell phones. There was no app. He was not tracking me. He just knew what I was doing, what I was up to. It was terrifying.
His patrol included your beat.
Yes. Oh, God. It was scary. But, I mean, every cop in Dallas, Texas pretty much knows who I am.
So he had eyes and ears on everything.
Yes.
And now you have eyes and ears on everything that comes to social media marketing,
Yes.
fitness, entrepreneurship. Where do you see yourself in 3 years?
Ooh, that's a good question. It's like a job interview. In 3 years...
Think of it way more fun than that.
Way more fun than that. So I'm developing a business that's going to be a major player over the next several years. I'm building in the outdoor world. I'm building in the fitness world. I'm building in the coaching world. So I actually see myself being able to take more vacations than the massive hustle that I'm doing right now. I very much believe in the 51-49 rule. I give 51%. All right. Yeah,
tell me about that. Yeah.
You always give more than you take.
Okay.
I'm always down to help people out. I have clients that they need to cut down how much they're spending. Well, I'm going to give you a little bit extra on top of that, even if we're under that, because I'm successful when you're successful.
That's true.
And if you can sing my praises, then that's a win for me. I very much am reinvesting most of the money that I'm making back into the business. I want to build it, and I want to tell stories. I want to protect some things that are worth protecting. I'm very much an outdoorsman, very much a climber, hiker, all that sort of fun stuff. I think that there's some callings in that currently in the current environment that need to be told, and I want to tell those stories as well. And yeah, just kicking ass, taking names, and winning Ironmans.
Winning Ironmans.
If I could place, I would be ecstatic. Even if it's just age group and I could place, I'd be ecstatic.
Right. First of all, we got to get you healthy.
Yes. IT band is on its way.
A tad injury prone.
It seems, as of late.
As business owners, that rest and recovery thing is kind of a foreign concept for us.
It really is, considering when I'm really going after it, I'm hitting 5 to 6 hours of sleep a night.
Okay. I'm willing to give up what I want most right now for the next 2 years so that I can have it every day for the rest of my life.
Yes.
Does that resonate with you?
Yes, very much so.
So, is there a particular cause that you're championing right now?
Well, because we're in the Denver area, I want to bring Denver up to speed. We're about 15 years behind as far as digital marketing goes. I've talked to, I don't know how many personal trainers, how many gym owners told me I'm a small gym, I want to stay a small gym. Okay, cool. What happens when your clients die? You go out of business.
Right.
We need to find a way to get you more business coming in. Sure, you can cap it, but you need to have a pipeline. If you don't have that pipeline, you're going to go out of business. Denver is incredibly fertile for business right now.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very much the small businesses right now are still in the wind. But all these big chains, I mean, just looking at fast food, for instance, and restaurants, the big chains are starting to come in because they see the fertile ground that is Denver. And if the mom and pop places don't start to learn the lay of the world now as it is, they're going to get crushed.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want that to happen because I love this place and I love the mom and pop places, Sunrise, Sunset, down off of 6, where I always go to eat breakfast and things like that.
So if there's one key piece of advice that you could give the small gym owner or brand new personal trainer to fill those pipelines, what would it be?
Produce content every damn day and put it out on social media. And give away your best secrets for free. Just give them away. Because 99% of people aren't going to do anything about it, but they're going to believe you when you tell them your secrets. When knowledge has been commoditized. The internet has taken away the middleman. Like, we've got bachelor's degrees, we've got master's degrees. Cool.
So what?
So what? So does Google. Google knows everything you know. You can
and then some.
Harvard. You can go to school for Harvard for free.
Sure, just Google it.
No, they give classes for free on the internet. You can get their classes.
You just don't get the degree.
Textbooks. You don't get the degree.
Yeah. Okay.
Cool. I'll print you out one. It'll be fine. But you get the knowledge. Knowledge has been commoditized. So
Sure.
if you can give your best secrets away for free, authentically, and you really, you're speaking your truth that you want to help people, and that's actually a truth in you, it's going to resonate and you're going to win.
Right. So a lot of that has to do with becoming the expert in our ideal client's mind. So we share our best content for free on social media. Facebook has always been my low-hanging fruit. Instagram and LinkedIn have both engaged the audience of personal trainers for me, and that's where I spend most of my time. And I do love adding that extra value to all of my communities for free via email list or the social media posts that we make. When you're talking to these small gym owners and personal trainers, let's narrow down that content. What can they focus on? Is it giving away exercises for free, or is it the actual workouts like a WOD or a workout of the day?
I think it can be a lot of stuff. I think that you need to figure out what works best for you. Are you in a CrossFit box? Are you in a climbing gym? Are you in a Lifetime Fitness? Like what kind of thing are you looking at and that you have currently, and what are you trying to go after? If you want to make people big and put them on shows, then maybe you want to go with complete workouts of the day or complete chest workouts, back workouts, just every
Poster splits every
Monday
day.
through Friday, and then you've just got something going on. If you're in a CrossFit box, maybe you're just throwing snatches and doing elliptic weightlifting and all that sort of fun thing. If you're in a climbing gym, you're going to be talking a whole lot about injury prevention. You're going to be talking about hand strength and forearm strength, and more than all of that, tendon strength.
Mobility.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm a rock climber. We hold our entire body weight on 2 fingers.
Hopefully
which,
you can.
Yeah,
I
it's
can't.
2 fingers, and it's half of a digit. So, like, literally half of the fingerprint up, we can hold our whole body weight. The greats can do it on their pinky.
So if you're searching for the expert in the industry, you're going to gravitate to that person giving out the content that you care about.
Yeah.
And if you're my ideal client, then maybe you're going to pay most attention to injury prevention and getting back from an experience in your life that didn't exactly make you your best.
Yeah.
So we can kind of sum up this entire conversation into identifying your ideal client, learning where they hang out, speaking to their pain points, and then we go after them with niche marketing content specific posts on social media. Is that about as easy as I can sum it up?
That's about as easy as it can be summed up. I mean, and social is great. Video is consumed at 80% of all of everything that's consumed on the internet. 80% of it is video. Podcasts are expected to overtake it over the next 36 months.
Okay.
So it's just a cycle. It's just knowing where we're going.
Right.
And then a little history lesson for everybody. 1999, 2000, Google AdWords came out. It's 2003. Sorry. Google AdWords comes out, flips the internet on its head. Now I can pay to have, when somebody types in personal trainer, Denver, I'm the first person that pops up, and I paid 5 cents for that to pop up. That flipped the internet on its head. That created e-commerce as a whole. Google AdWords could be created with that. In January, Amazon started working on their own project for this, but it's with Alexa. It's voice. So being on the forefront of knowing where that is and keeping up with that is going to be key, because we trade everything for time. It's why podcast is kind of through. It's passive. You can consume it on the internet or while you're on the bus or on the train or driving or whatever. You don't have to.
Yeah.
You don't have to be watching. You don't have to be handling it. And eventually, very soon, probably within 5 years, you can wake up, get out of bed, and say, "Alexa, I'm tired of being fat. I want to work out. Find me a personal trainer." And it's gonna pull one. How do you be that one that it pulls?
Right. Okay, that puts it into perspective for me as a small business owner. Putting out content on social media sounds like video is the best way to do it.
Yes.
Right now.
Yes.
So
add captions too. It helps with
add
SEO.
captions, right? So is that subtitles or just captions in general?
Subtitles.
Okay.
So if you're posting it on YouTube, you can just click it and their AI actually runs through it and posts it all for you.
Right. That's a good piece of advice right there, because as we start this process, we're in episode 2 of the podcast now, and we're video recording, so we're hitting 2 birds with one stone, thanks to your advice.
I do what I can. I do what I can. Again, I mean, I want everybody that can possibly be successful to be successful. The internet has taken out the middleman. There's so much abundance out there. Everybody can be successful. Just have to execute.
And you come in at the point when busy business owners need some help.
Yes.
They need your expertise in social media and videography and photography, all of which is Class A.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
You've done work for Fit Life Champions. You've done work for our teammates here at Fit Life Champions, and we appreciate the hard work that you do.
And the 3 to 5 Club.
And 3 to 5 Club. That's right. That's how we met. Through our American Ninja Warrior client, and we respect what you're doing a lot. How can people connect with you best?
Best, you can, probably the best way would be email or through my social.
Okay.
So you can find me on Facebook at Stephen Michael Andrews. You can email me at Stephen with a PH at spotteddogdigital.com, or you can go to spotteddogdigital.com.
That's awesome. So search the website, email you, or find you on Facebook are the 3 best ways to get a hold of you.
Yes.
Awesome. And where does Spotted Dog Digital come from?
So Spotted Dog Digital, my girlfriend has the cutest dog on the face of the planet. She is 3/4 Australian Shepherd and 1/4 Blue Heeler, and my running partner, and it just kind of, we were just spitballing names, and she was like, Spotted Dog. And I was like, oh my God, that's amazing.
Nailed it.
And the original, we wanted Spotted Dog Media, but that's the actual name of Spotted Dog Media, but the URL was taken. So
Sure.
we had to go with digital.
Okay. And this dog has won you an award. Is that right?
No, this dog has not won me an award. I think you're thinking of the photography competition that I won. That was actually a landscape photo of a waterfall.
Okay.
That I won for that. But I do post way too many pictures of her.
It's the dog. It's the dog on social media that stands out at me. And
Hi.
and then the exotic places that you're taking these pictures to.
Yeah, I run all over the country, and as often as I can all over the world, and take photos and video and all that sort of fun stuff. So that's the passion of the photography, is the adventure side of everything and the outdoor side of everything. And Instagram, Rockin' Iron Athletics. You can find me there.
That's phenomenal, absolutely. And search the podcast as well. It's big into fitness, entrepreneurship, and your YouTube channel has some recipes up on it, right?
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
YouTube's got recipes. We've got our podcast up there, and we're starting a vlog. So, which
Busy,
is really
busy
difficult.
man.
Me being in front of the camera is weird. I still have to get used to that. That's one of my own pain points.
Okay. That's a little bit ironic.
Yeah, it is.
You're doing just fine, brother. Appreciate it. So I want to thank you for your time. This was phenomenal to get a chance to catch up since we haven't seen each other in about a month.
Absolutely.
I want to circle back around in about 6 or 8, 12 months and find out where you're at.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure that you're going to be traveling the globe more than any time in spending time in Denver.
I do have a few possibilities that might be popping up. Hopefully, I'm working with a trailer company right now, and hopefully that'll equate to me being out for about a month, just driving around making some films for them.
That's awesome, man. I really appreciate your time. So if Steven's expertise resonates with you, reach out to him via those locations that we said were best to get a hold of him. And if you have not yet, head on over to daveglaser.com and download your 7-step guide to building a sustainable personal training business. Thanks again, Steven. It was my pleasure.
Thank you, sir.
Anytime.